All right, as you've seen, we switched out the lathe chucks. We put some wood on our ways to protect them. I know you're not supposed to engage these back gears. That's what we were engaging back there. To loosen this, you're supposed to just hit it free and it should free up, but that's a perfect world and it never happens. So now that we have the 3-jaw chuck on, we already have the Jacobs chuck in our tailstock. We got like a Morse taper to a Jacobs chuck. All we got to do is take this bit out. I was doing something, just a little quick bushing job there, and for myself, so it wouldn't have to be too accurate. That's what the tape's for. But anyways, we're gonna get that out, and we're gonna get the center drill in. And when you do these with this center drill, you wanna make sure that the jaws from your chuck are right around the middle. You don't want to grab it too far out and get some wobble, or too far in and damage something. So let's get this taken out and get this center drill put in. Now, as I'm putting this in, you can tell this piece of round bar here it's cut really bad. So we're gonna get what we're gonna get, and that's it. Next time they ask me if I want to cut it, I think I'm gonna say yeah. You want this as short as possible because you're gonna have less end travel. Also, when you're cutting with these bits, you don't want to go up into this shoulder area here. You only want to go to where that 45 is back here, about 2/3 the way up. So past here, about right to there. And that's all you want to go into that material. Also, I always do a quick test run anytime I change these chucks, and I make sure that this ain't loose. That nice and tight. Okay. The old school guys will tell you how whatever it takes to get the job done. There's no right or wrong way, because certain situations, people will say it's impossible, and they make it possible. All right, let me zoom in here. This is almost what you're aiming for. We could have went in a little deeper here with the center drill, but we didn't. So I'm going to put this piece down now, and we'll chuck up the next, and I'll turn the camera back on once we start the drilling process with the 6.7 millimeter drill. So now we have the last one still in the chuck. Now we've been putting these down here. You're going to leave that in, obviously, because it's already chucked up. And then we're going to slide back our tailstock, loosen our Jacobs chuck. I'm going to put that 6.7 millimeter drill bit for the M8 by 125 hole. And we're going to get started on getting at least one of these done, and then go to the next ones. And again, this is what you want. Let me try to zoom in on this. You want that cone shape in there to center your drill. Also, this center pulley was the sweet spot. I tried to lubricate it, and with some steels, you really got to watch what you're working with and the different bits, you know, if you have carbide or high speed or what you're drilling with, because it really didn't like the oil at all. And I felt the bit after the first few, the bit and the tool that I'm, well, not the tool, the part I'm making seemed to be cool. So it's still, look, I could touch it. So you got to know what you're working with. So it didn't like lubrication, so we stopped that after the, I think it was the second one. And I'm going to go over to the little bench grinder there, and I'm going to try to clean these up because they're pretty bad. This isn't just from drilling that hole. That's from when they cut them. So I'm going to clean them up for him. This looks a lot better, but it's not perfect. I didn't bid the job for his cleaning, but you know, this is what you go a little extra for somebody, and it goes a long way for you. So remember that. If you know, yeah, I don't have to do this, but if I take a few seconds and I just clean these up for him, he's going to take them out of the bag and be like, wow, these are nice. I don't have to say, hey, this isn't my job. Just make it your job. Just clean it up, be done with it. So this vise is a little big for this job, but it's nice to tap here. I'm just going to take a little extra precaution. Wrap these jaws. I don't want to ruin the finish any worse than it is from his guys. And switch out my stools here. I mean, you really want to save time. You could line so many of these up, but it's not necessary. You know, we only have 6 to do. We'll take our M8 tap and we'll run that in. Now that you're going to want to lubricate. You always want to lubricate your taps, preferably with some cutting oil. I'm going to go get my tap handle for this, and we'll start cutting these threads. That one's all done. I will clean that one up a little bit more. As you can see, it didn't turn out too bad. Threads are really nice and deep threads. Turned out great. I'm going to clean these up and get the rest of them done. The only thing I will say about the 6-7 millimeter drill bit, it needed to be like a 7. This tap is running in there even with the lubricant really tight, so you can only go so fast. But all in all, it was a pretty easy job. So basically a 1/2 inch piece of round bar, 1/2 inch long round stock, drilled, you know, center drilled, threaded. It's that easy. This job, what it does pay, I'm not going to tell you what all my jobs pay, but for those that say there's no money in machining, these were quoted at $10 each, and I didn't buy the material. So that was them cut already, dropped off to the shop, $10 a piece. A good machinist can do those in, you know, half an hour, I'd say. So you figure that's a little over $100 an hour. Not bad. So those who say manual machining, there's no money in it, $100 an hour, I don't think is a bad, I don't think that's a bad wage. But again, this job I ended up not billing the customer because they gave me a bandsaw some time ago, and this is one of those deals where I said, you know what, why don't I just owe you a job? They wanted it out of their way anyway. So thanks for watching Frontwoods Farmer, and look for more machining videos in the future.